Let's go.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Man, Dave. Yet, you will have the scum of the earth, which is lawyers. They can be used, but when you will defend a child murderer, you are scum. Beyond scum. You are less than damn. You are less than gum under my damn foot. If you can defend a child murderer.
Yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely.
This grown 30-plus-year-old man picked a fight with a 17-year-old to get his desired response. And then, which is a reason to murder him. Which is the same thing, a segue with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Brother.
That little bastard traveled from Illinois to Wisconsin with an automatic weapon to do exactly what he did. And police were fraternizing with his little punk ass, thanking him for being there.
Brother, as the sister said, Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old,
Yes.
got gunned down for a toy pistol.
Yes, sir.
But this young cracker came across state lines.
Yes, sir.
With an automatic assault rifle. Shot 2 innocent protesters, non-violent protesters, regardless of what their color were.
Exactly.
But they was protesting for a cause of Black Lives Matter.
Exactly.
And injured another one.
Tried to jump off.
And went back across state lines, and they knew who it was at the time in which he done it. And they didn't arrest that little cracker until
the next day.
The next morning.
From my understanding, people were pointing him out after he did the shooting.
Right afterwards.
And the police wouldn't arrest him. They let him go.
Bro,
that's criminally negligence on the behalf of a police officer.
They should be brought up on charges.
Exactly.
For failing to do their duty.
Exactly.
In response to what had happened and took place after you had that footage. And then you saw it by them going to him the next morning and getting him right from his home. It's letting you know that they knew where he was at the whole while.
Exactly.
Now, it's not ironic that he was a Trump supporter and was in one of the Trump's campaigns in 2017, 2016.
He was at the rally.
So, and then fraternizing with the officers.
Yes. The officers seeing him there.
Again, there is not, as long as we keep allowing them to do what they do, they're going to continue, and it's going to increase until they start coming back again. And body bags are starting to have to bury theirs the same day that ours are getting buried.
Exactly. Now, we need to engage this war that's been waged against us. And they're going to do it until we engage. Walking around 2,000 deep with weapons, it's not going to get it.
No, sir.
We have to use those weapons. It looks good, the show of force. It looks good. But when crunch time arrives here at our feet, brothers have gone to jail over utter nonsense for the rest of their lives. When I say nonsense, killing another brother or sister.
Absolutely.
Nonsense meaning it makes no sense, right? What about our open and consistent enemy that you know is out to take your life? Well, we go to jail willingly, yet we show incredible restraint when it comes to our open and we have people like Roland Martin telling us that we should vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Roland Martin will jump his fat ass on any bandwagon and flatten the goddamn tires. He want an office near the damn kitchen, brother.
Brother, look. He want to find somewhere where he can place his pussy in.
Yeah, he want exactly, and then anywhere he wants, as Sister Vicky said, he wants some buttermilk biscuits.
Look, stop using biscuits, man.
Yeah.
Using
Right.
biscuits,
Yeah, I love biscuits, brother.
I like biscuits, man. But I got it though. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it alone. That's only. I'm sorry about that. That's an insider. You know what I mean? But hey, man, yeah, milk toast self, man.
Yeah, he's milk toast.
He's milk toast, man, in every sense of the word.
Yeah, he's milk toast. I love biscuits.
Yeah,
but,
man.
They need to stop making
synonymous.
biscuits.
Man. Yeah, synonymous, man, to these selling out jokers, man, because this is what they do. You know what I mean? But you gonna stop that, man.
Yeah, brother. Nothing like a good biscuit. Homemade one,
brother. Buttermilk biscuit. Brother. You know, but yeah, man. But this is what they want us to do. They want us to think on them terms. They don't want to give us no quote unquote role models that are strong, upstanding,
exactly,
role models that'll put that battery pack in your back.
Exactly.
And make you want to do something.
Exactly.
They want to give us an entertainer.
A capitulator at that.
They want to give us a sports figure.
Exactly. But the sports figure is standing up now.
I mean, they standing up now.
So pretty soon, sports figure is going to be
Kenny
like
Smith.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All you guys, man, in the NBA, in the Major League Baseball, football.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I give y'all a hand clap because it's something that's unprecedented, that hasn't happened before. And now we're starting to stand up a little more, and you can see that pendulum swinging in a different direction. And this is what they don't want.
It's time, brother. It is time.
We there.
Because
we there.
If you have, as the sister said, you have brothers and sisters who are famous, who have relatives and family that's not famous, that's dealing with these same situations.
All these injustices, man, that are happening, man, and taking place because it's not happening directly to them. It is happening to family members.
Exactly. So everyone has
this affects
to stand
us
up.
all.
Yeah, we all have to stand up.
Yep. It affects us all.
Everybody has to play their part. Everybody can't do everything. Yeah. But as long as you're doing your part.
Yes.
Some of us who have money may have to use their money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because there's all different stages of this war.
Exactly.
The Minister Farrakhan told us many times before that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told them that the man of sin and the man of perdition has to be revealed.
Yes.
And once he's revealed, then the coming can come. But there first has to be what? A falling away.
Indeed. And when you say man, we're not dealing with an individual. We're dealing with an entire man.
Yeah.
Meaning a race of people.
Yeah.
A race of people. This white man is wicked. And he don't have no problem proving to you and us how wicked he is. And he's putting his knee on our necks, and they're keeping it there until we take it off.
Absolutely, brother.
You gotta take it off. We don't ask them to take it off. You take it off. They're not gonna take it off if you ask them to.
No. It ain't in their nature to do so, brother. They weren't made that way.
They are behaving according to their very nature. And their nature is wickedness. This is not racism.
No.
Because if you go back to the history of this man, any of us can go back and say, if we deal with the history of this man, it's wickedness.
Absolutely. And they know it. You know, and this is what we see on a continuous, everyday basis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's going to continue to happen again until we recognize and get in our heads that, look, if y'all haven't heard it before, we're going to explain it to you now. This white man is the devil.
The devil. And the is a definite article. He's not a devil. The white man is the devil. The definite article.
Absolutely.
Like it says, there's no other, like Dr. Collins said, the goddamn white man. There is no other goddamn man besides the goddamn white man.
Yeah, God is damning him.
Exactly.
Right now.
This is the Enemy's Public, and I'm Brother Nasir.
And this is Brother Kahree.
Like, share, subscribe. Peace. That white people will still have black people with the slave mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's inspirational for white folks.
Exactly.
For what we call the race soldiers. He's inspirational for them. Because that means that they can continue on and carry on with what this country was founded upon.
Yes.
The red, the white, and the blue. From its conception, because they don't have to worry about anything from him and those that follow him, because their country is safe, because they still are going to capitulate, bow down, and represent what it is that white America wants.
Yes.
Because we know white America, what they definitely don't want is black men and women that stand up.
No, they don't want that.
And have a mind of their own and can think for themselves.
Now, I know emphatically that they don't respect Brandon Tatum. They just like the fact that he's willing to capitulate and sell his own people out. They like that about him.
As long as he speaks that narrative, it will give him the platform, and they will give him as much leeway as he needs to convey and put that message across, because it doesn't cause them to go to be in a position to come out of power.
It's not his message, it's theirs.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, absolutely. I knew where you was going when
you
said
absolutely.
That. It's their message.
Yeah, it's their message. That's what they want to continue to happen. And as long as he's preaching that, they're good.
You know, he's what they call a safe Negro.
Oh man, by every means of what that word is,
they're safe. We're
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
We're not safe. Not with Negroes like him. Nah. The time's gonna come where he's gonna have to pay for his transgression against us.
Well, brother, that time is slowly approaching. It's not slowly, but it's quick. It's quickly approaching, because all the elements, man, are now building up to it. As the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us years ago, he said, brother, you're going to definitely come into a time where we're going to see and be forced to separate.
Yes, sir.
See, separation is not something that we can determine or decide that we want to do. This is something that God wants. Until people understand that and know that, you're going to continue to get slaughtered.
Exactly. Come out of her, my people.
And be ye not partakers of her plagues
and iniquities,
sins, and transgressions.
Yes, sir.
You got to come out of her.
Yes, sir.
If you don't, then you're going to be held accountable for everything that happens to you and to us, because we have failed to do that.
That it's so mind-boggling that you have people thinking that the Lord of the worlds is going to be with the oppressor. You know, because they say one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. They always have used words of hope and encouragement to cover up their dirt.
But that ain't never applied to us. The amendment was just amended not so many years ago, that just declared us a whole human being.
Yes, sir.
We were 3/5 of a human being. And it's still just an amendment. It's not even in law. It's not a law. It's an amendment. So that means they can go in at any time and change that.
They can go in and say, okay, let's just slaughter them outright.
But what do they say about the 13th, the Amendment 13?
Yes, sir.
Amendment 13 is, okay, slavery has been abolished and gone, but what is the underlying, or what is in the fine print?
Yes, sir.
Of that amendment? In the fine print of that amendment is that rights will be taken away for criminal, or if you become a criminal of whatever sort, and then your rights can be taken away.
Which is why they make such mediocre things criminal.
Which is a segue into this political election that is coming up.
Exactly.
With got to come out of her.
Yes, sir.
If you don't, then you're going to be held accountable for everything that happens to you and to us, because we have failed to do that.
It's so mind-boggling that you have people thinking that the Lord of the worlds is going to be with the oppressor. You know, because they say one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. They always have used words of hope and encouragement to you know, to cover up their dirt.
But that ain't never applied to us. The amendment was just the amendment. I mean, the amendment was just amended not so many years ago that just declared us a whole human being.
Yes, sir.
We were 3/5 of a human being, and it's still just an amendment. It's not even in law. It's not a law. It's an amendment. So that means they can go in at any time and change that.
They can go in and say, okay, let's just slaughter them outright.
But what do they say about the 13th? About the Amendment 13?
Yes, sir.
Amendment 13 is okay. Slavery has been abolished and gone. But what is the underlying, or what is in the fine print?
Yes, sir.
Of that amendment? In the fine print of that amendment is that rights will be taken away for criminal, or if you become a criminal of whatever sort, and then your rights can be taken away.
Which is why they make such mediocre things criminal.
Which is a segue into this political election that is coming up.
Exactly.
With quote unquote Sister Kamala and Mr. Biden.
Yeah. Say sister with quotes though.
Quote unquote Sister Kamala Harris.
Because both of them are jailers.
Both of them.
They're jailers.
Have acquiesced and bowed down. I'm not even going to say acquiesced. I'm going to say have been cohorts.
Oh yeah, I mean,
of the system.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In the privatization of institutions that have been pulling these people to go work free labor.
Yeah, Biden, he's one of the orchestrators, the writers of the 92 Crime Bill.
Rockefeller Law.
Which massively incarcerated black men.
Absolutely.
And Kamala Harris delighted in locking up black people
for misdemeanor charges
in California. So they're both jailers. They both delight in seeing black people in prison. Now, every time Kamala Harris will refer to herself as black, she'll always say something stereotypical. Nothing about our greatness of excellence. It's always, okay, I'm black, I like Cardi B, who is not even a foundational black American. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And she gonna put that as an image of black women. Not Mary J. Blige. You know what I'm saying? Not Mary J. Blige.
But Cardi B.
Not somebody like Mary J. Blige, a singer who's classy. Not Shahrazad Ali. Not Dr. Ava. But Cardi B.
See, they do that. Well, she does that and they do that because that's the vein and where they want us to go. And nothing against Cardi B. Nothing against Cardi B. Because this is not a platform that we're trying to come after her.
No, of course
not. But the comparison.
Exactly.
And what you're trying to use and affiliate us to go towards or lean towards.
Standard bearer.
You couldn't select somebody. This is what you selected?
It's synonymous to how they're dealing with the situation as far as like her speaking to Biden. Which is the reason why I said it. Not to go after her, but this is the standard bearer that they want to hold us by.
I got
it. And
I got it. And I don't, and I'm trying to kind of hold back on criticism because that's not what this is about.
Don't want to do that.
You know what I mean? That's not what this is about.
I'm gonna leave it where it's at. I'm not gonna criticize her because the critique is thanking him for being there.
Brother, as the sister said, Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old,
Yes.
got gunned down for a toy pistol.
Yes, sir.
But this young cracker came across state lines
Yes, sir.
with an automatic assault rifle,
Assault rifle.
shot 2 innocent protesters, non-violent protesters, regardless of what their color were.
Exactly.
But they was protesting for a cause of Black Lives Matter,
Exactly.
and injured another one,
Shot his arm off.
and went back across state lines, and they knew who it was at the time in which he done it. And they didn't arrest that little cracker until
The next day.
the next morning.
From my understanding, people were pointing him out after he did the shooting,
Right afterwards.
and the police wouldn't arrest him. They let him go.
Bro, there's
That's criminally negligence on the behalf of a police officer.
they should be brought up on charges
Exactly.
for failing to do their duty
Exactly.
in response to what had happened and took place after you had that footage. And then you saw it by them going to him the next morning and getting him right from his home. It's letting you know that they knew where he was at the whole while.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, it's not ironic that he was a Trump supporter and was in one of the Trump's campaigns in 2017, 2016
He was at the rally.
at the rally. So, and then fraternizing with the officers.
Yes. Yes. The officer
Again.
seeing him. The officer seeing him there.
Again, there is not, as long as we keep allowing them to do what they do, they're going to continue, and it's going to increase until they start coming back again in body bags and starting to have to bury theirs the same day that ours are getting buried.
Exactly. Now, we need to engage this war that's been waged against us. And they're going to do it until we engage. Walking around 2,000 deep with weapons is not going to get it.
No, sir.
We have to use those weapons. It looks good, the show of force. It looks good. But when crunch time arrives here at our feet, brothers have gone to jail over utter nonsense for the rest of their lives. When I say nonsense, killing another brother or sister.
Absolutely.
Nonsense meaning it makes no sense, right? What about our open and consistent enemy that you know is out to take your life? Well, we go to jail willingly, yet we show incredible restraint when it comes to our open and consistent enemy. That is backwards. That's something that we need to change. And you have Negroes justifying the slaughter, the utter murder of human beings. Brandon Tatum said that the officers in Kenosha was justified. And he also said Kyle Rittenhouse was justified because he was being beat up. Brandon Tatum will always justify the slaughter of, in particular, black people. If you read his comment section, people are saying he is so inspirational. Yes, I would think it's inspirational in 2020 that white people will still have black people with the slave mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's inspirational for white folks.
Exactly.
For what we call the race soldiers. He's inspirational for them because that means that they can continue on and carry on with what this country was founded upon.
Yes.
The race.
Having the messages, Breonna Taylor, Black Lives Matter on the back of their jerseys, having those conversations at home with your son, with your friend, instead of walking. I don't get the connection why the boycott leads to better policing. Am I missing something there, Lindsay? And if I am, call me an idiot.
No, you're not an idiot, but I think that you're missing a huge point. So let's just start with the fact that 2 people were killed at Black Lives Matter peaceful protest around Milwaukee, which is why the Bucks decided to take the first stance.
And
they said we're not playing and celebrating. We're not celebrating as black people this instance when a white man just walked in and a peaceful protest and killed 2 people that were supporting Black lives and nothing was done. He went to bed and had his sleep that night and got arrested the next day. Mind you, in Cleveland, Tamir Rice had a toy gun in his hand and was killed by police, murdered by police, and he was 12 years old. So that's the big difference, and that's the problem in our country, because we can continue to watch sports and say black people are good as athletes, are good as entertainers, but they're not good as human beings. So outside of those capacities, we don't respect people. And so that's why I think when you tell owners, we're taking money out of your pocket, we are taking money out of the network's pockets and everybody who schmoozes, like Tori was saying, with local and federal officials. For example, Robert Kraft, he's very public about being good friends with President Trump. So you can directly affect legislation. And so saying that Black Lives Matter, having your league be able to wear names on their back, that's all fine and dandy. But how about going down to the people that you break bread with and have dinner with and telling them exactly what laws you need in place and affecting legislation, donating money to real causes that will save Black lives? Because outside of these players playing basketball, they have friends and families that actually are in danger of being killed by police or pedestrians that are racist. And so that's a real problem that we all have to deal with. In the same way that I sit here on television and have dialogue with you guys, I have a little brother that literally had an incident very similar and luckily didn't die with the police in the last couple of months. And so as much as this is a leisure, and you said we're all lucky to be doing this, and NBA players are lucky to be millionaires and doing those things, every day they have to deal with their friends and family that are not famous, dealing with a different lifestyle and sitting in that and knowing that they could die just for doing regular life things like walking to their car or like breaking up a domestic dispute or like running around a neighborhood. I'm naming all things that happened this year where black people died for doing nothing and being unarmed. And that's not okay. When you're taking a stance, you're kneeling, you're doing everything that you can in these leagues to say you want attention and justice for black people, and that's not working. And your owners are largely silent when they have the power and authority to do much more. So don't ask why people are not playing. Don't ask why people are kneeling. Ask why owners are not doing much more.
I got to give Lindsay a credit. You know what I mean? That was well put. As a person who appreciates someone being able to articulate a point of view so it cannot be misunderstood, I appreciate her for doing it. And we need people like Lindsay because there's too many people trying to educate people or speaking on behalf of a movement who can't articulate themselves. Sometimes you just got to step back and share videos like this, you know, because I would have just called his ass an idiot like he asked.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir.
And this is Brother Kahree.
We just gonna go right in. Unless we engage our enemy in this war that they waged against us, it's not a war. It is called slaughter. Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that the only thing that he can pick to represent his work, as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was the trumpet. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Brother Kahree, can you give us that teaching briefly of what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said about why he picked the trumpet as what would represent his work?
Well, a lot of it because the trumpet had a distinctive sound. And if you notice inside of the Army and armed forces in different places, they use the trumpet as the wake-up call.
Yes, sir.
And it's not a coincidence that it is the wake-up call. And if you notice, that is also what is used to represent the final call newspaper.
Yes.
The trumpet.
Yes.
Because it is the final call.
Yes, sir.
This is what it is that they're trying to get us to see and to understand.
Yes.
The final call. And this is where we're at. That's why the trumpet is such a significant piece for us to heed that call.
Yes, sir. For the past 8 years under the Obama administration, my sentiment is that Black people were lulled back to sleep, thinking that we were living in a post-racial society. And under the Trump administration, I think Trump woke us back up to let us know that we're not living in a post-racial society. And basically what the cause of what we call our channel, the enemy's public, out in the open and chest out, overtly racist. And if you add an ET to Trump,
yes, sir. Absolutely.
you get Trumpette.
Absolutely.
So it's really synonymous to what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, because when Donald Trump was campaigning for the office of the President of the United States, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said something that people took out of context and they misunderstood. He said that Donald Trump is God's man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And I tried to explain this to an older brother. He just couldn't grasp it. When I say, because they are so into the concept of what they were taught about God, the misunderstanding and misconceptions. And I was trying to merely tell him that God is going to use Donald Trump for the unraveling of America and this world as we know it.
Yes, sir.
Look at what's going on today and how much of it's going on. Starting from coronavirus and, the spearhead was like probably early in the year, but it really came down in March, right after Savior's Day.
Yes, sir.
And people need to understand that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is a man of God. Can explain to the listening people, our brothers and sisters, of why we can consider the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan a man of God?
Well, when you have any of these great men or women that come in the great line of divine, the way that you can tell that they are from that is if what they say comes to pass.
Yes, sir.
And Savior's Day, he said, this is the unraveling of a nation.
Yes.
coronavirus hit. But first, let me build it back just a little bit. Just a little bit. During this time, all monotheistic religions, major religions that we've been
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.